Did you ever hear back in the day, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite? My mom and dad used to say that to my sister and I when we were children. Back then it was just something that they said, having no idea that the bugs were real. Recently, those little bugs mentioned in a good night sing-song have come to visit. Warren Booth, a professor at the University of Tulsa, Oklahoma, said that hardly a week goes by without yet news of another infestation, and yet they are relatively understudied. Most people seem to know so little about them, including myself, when I found out I had them in my home. Being as proactive as I could, I did vast amounts of research on them. I'd like to share what I found, discussing their origin, biology, problems, and myths. Entomologists have used genetics to find the origin of bedbugs. They've discovered evidence of them in Egyptian literature and have found fossilized bedbugs as old as 3,500 years old. Their origin lies with bats, and that bats were their first ancestral hosts. It's believed that the bedbugs fed on bats, and at some point humans shared those caves with the infested bats. As humans evolved and developed as a species, they left those caves taking bedbugs with them. This divide between humans and bats has created two types of bedbugs that are so diverse it's almost split them into two species. Seeming to have disappeared in the 1950s due to insecticides and pesticides, bedbugs came back with a vengeance starting in the late 1990s, early 2000s. Resistance to the most commonly used pesticides is the #1 reason for their insurgence. I've talked about where they've come from, now let's talk about biology, including their life cycle, feeding, and mating. The technical name for bedbug is Cimex lectularius. The life cycle of a bedbug includes 3 basic stages known as egg, nymph, and adult. Eggs are smooth, oval shaped, and typically laid in clusters. Nymphs are baby bedbugs and are pale in color. Nymphs shed their skin, called the excuvia, each week as they mature, which takes about 4 to 6 weeks. Adult bedbugs are flat and shaped like an apple seed and sized about 3/16 of an inch. Females are more round like an orange, while males are more lemon-shaped. The mating process of a bedbug is laughably called the traumatic insemination. This is because the male climbs on top of the female and pierces her abdomen with a needle-like penis, injecting semen into her body cavity. Bedbugs feed every 10 to 7 days and are generally nocturnal. They adjust to their environment to survive, so they will feed during the day if need be. So how do they find us? Brooke Burrell, a science reporter for the National Geographic, says they are attracted to the CO2 in our breath and the heat coming from our bodies. Additional information in an article by National Geographic suggests that the CO2 attracts them to us, and they use their antenna to detect and find the specific spots to feed. Their mouth is called a proboscis, which they use to pierce our skin while injecting a numbing agent as well as a coagulant. The proboscis is tucked under the body when not in use. Once they have digested the blood, they excrete in small dots, typically in clusters, something else that exterminators look for. This takes us to our next point, problems that bedbugs cause. This includes bites, infestations, and spreading. Bedbug bites are the only problem that affect us physically. They show up as red, itchy bumps that are the body's reaction to the anticoagulant and numbing agent injected into us during feeding and are typically in lines and clusters. An article on ncbi.gov mentions that only 50% of the U.S. has a reaction to bedbug bites. Reactions to the bites is typically the first sign of infestation. This statistic increases the chance of greater infestation, which takes us to our next problem. It only takes one pregnant female to infest an entire building, laying as many as 15 to 25 eggs per week, and can inbreed several times without any side effects. In early stages of infestation, the bedbugs are in close proximity to the host. As the infestation grows, so does the proximity, leading to entire homes and buildings being infested. Bedbugs prefer undisturbed spaces in materials such as fabric and woods, but you can also find them in metals, plastics, and even cell phones. The spreading of bedbugs is very easy. They are infamous hitchhikers and do so to survive. The human's ability to travel is the second fact believed to account for their huge comeback. Hotels, international travel, shoes, backpacks, luggage, and homes are just a few places you can get and ways you can carry bedbugs. Eradicating bedbugs is very expensive, ranging from $500 to $3,000. Average cost is around $1,700. You can do this yourself or you can hire a professional. That covers the origin, biology, and problems. Our final point are myths about bedbugs. Bedbugs can fly. This is false due to the fact that they have no wings. Bedbugs live longer than 1 year without a meal. This is true and false and is based on season, climate, and weather. Bedbugs only bite at night. This is false. They will eat whenever they are hungry. Bedbugs prefer dirty places. This is false, and this is also one of the biggest myths. They go for blood, not for dirt, and they certainly do not discriminate. Bedbugs only live in mattresses. Again, this is false. They live in anything that provides or is close to a host. You can spray bedbugs away. This is also false. Today, chemical treatments must be coupled with heat treatments due to the resistance of pesticides. And lastly, bedbugs cause anemia. This is false due to the fact that they are unable to consume enough blood. Even though I'll never be able to hear the words good night, sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite with the same naivety I did as a child, I hope you can go to bed a little more comfortable knowing their origin, where they came from, biology, what to look for, problems, reasons to be vigilant, and myths, common misconceptions. I also encourage you to do further investigating. Sleep tight. Thanks for listening.